Hej, mitt namn är Tomas TOBE och jag är Europaparlamentariker. Jag representerar Sverige och Moderaterna. Vi ingår i partigruppen EPP som är den största gruppen i Europaparlamentet. Det ger oss bra möjligheter att få igenom vår politik och våra prioriteringar. Jag är ordförande i utskottet som ansvarar för EU:s biståndspolitik. Jag arbetar också mycket med migrationsfrågorna för att Europa ska få kontroll på invandringen. Och jag är också engagerad i att göra EU starkare genom fler jobb, ökat företagande och högre tillväxt. Vi måste också göra mer för att bekämpa den gränsöverskridande brottsligheten och öka tryggheten i hela Europa. Vill du veta mer om Europasamarbetet och partigruppen EPP? Då kan du se den här korta filmen om vårt arbete i Bryssel och Strasbourg.
The EPP Group. What and who we are. What is the EPP Group? Our political group brings together centre-right parties. In the past 5 European elections, the EPP Group, European People's Party, have been the leading political force in the European Parliament. European elections take place every 5 years. You decide who represents you. The most recent European elections took place in May 2019, and the EPP Group has 177 members, elected across 27 European countries. The EPP Group is the largest of the European Parliament's 7 political groups, and is the only political grouping that has representatives from all 27 member states. The elected members represent almost 500 million people, 445 million across 27 countries, and come from a host of different backgrounds but share the same political ideology. Like all members of the European Parliament, MEPs, EPP Group members are elected locally by voters, or by a list system in some countries, in their member state, to represent local people's interests on legislative and policy issues at European level. Members of the European Parliament are organised by political affiliation rather than country, and may only belong to one political group. What is our mission? To work for the good of all Europeans, to build a more ambitious and a more self-assured Europe, where everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed. To defend a united Europe that respects sovereignty without contradiction amongst European, national and local identities. To put people at the heart of the European project, strengthening European democracy and the accountability of its institutions, to defend and protect our values, advocating a united Europe based on the values of human dignity, freedom, solidarity, respect for human rights and the rule of law. To fight against organised crime by strengthening transparency mechanisms and improving security across the whole of Europe. To help Europe in strengthening its security, both online and offline, and to move towards a defence union. Our main priorities are to create an economy that works for people, fair taxes, and to create jobs. To tackle the crisis of youth unemployment in a world after the pandemic. To avoid a lost generation of young Europeans. To improve sustainability, promote greener energy, and protect the vulnerable affected by the climate crisis. To support a European Green Deal, to fulfill our commitments on climate change, to reduce CO2 emissions, clean our oceans, and support the ban of single-use plastic products. We believe that a climate strategy and an industrial strategy should always go hand in hand. To make Europe fit for the digital age, to support European research and development in AI and digitalization, to find a cure for cancer and other diseases by pooling EU resources and optimizing our joint knowledge, to help genuine refugees fleeing war and persecution, and to tackle the migration problem, while remaining protective of our borders. For European citizens to have their say through the Conference on the Future of Europe, by engaging in the democratic process to build and guarantee a good future for Europe. to promote our European way of life by protecting our citizens and their values, creating a union of equality, tolerance and social fairness built upon the rule of law. A rule of law that guarantees fundamental rights and values, allows the application of EU law, and supports an investment-friendly business environment. How do we do this? Well, it starts with the European Commission proposing legislation based on requests from citizens' initiatives. That's you, the European Parliament. That's you, Member States. And that's you too, as well as the European Central Bank and European Investment Bank. The European Parliament also has a right to initiate own initiative reports. It is not a simple process, but the aim is to ensure that all voices and opinions are heard before adopting laws which will be enforced across the entire European Union. In addition, it is a process in which we play a key role as the largest force in the European Parliament, representing and defending the interests of European citizens. Where does it happen? We have two places of work: Brussels for committee work, for preparing reports and making laws, and Strasbourg for legislative work, for passing laws that affect European citizens' lives. Reaching these legislative decisions is not easy. We consult with other political forces and consider proposed amendments. It is about building consensus. Once the legislation is approved by the EPP Group and other political groups, it goes to the plenary to be debated and then voted on to eventually become laws that are implemented in all member states and that impact on your daily life. We hope this short film has given you a better idea of the EPP Group's role in the European Parliament and how our work affects you and the way you live. If you'd like further information about how your local EPP Group MEP works on your behalf, you can contact them using the information on the screen now.